Ah, the old days of YouTube. Back when 360p was acceptable. 21 seconds of these shots of Hyrule Temple. And if you include opening logos, that's 40 seconds total.
Today, I was invited to a Smash Brothers tournament. But I find it's weird that no one's here.
Of course not. You'll never find anyone standing in one place on the biggest stage in Melee aside from auto-scrolling stages. Killin 7's lucky that Super 64 didn't just happen to turn around and see him sneaking up on him, or hear his incredibly loud footsteps. Also, I'm pretty sure Super 64 is at 0% damage right now since he just got here, so he wouldn't be sent flying right away. Sure, Bowser's powerful, but he didn't charge his smash attack, so it would take much more than that to send him flying in one hit.
Whoa, listen buddy.
Not the best idea to zoom in on Lead Fox when saying that, because for a second I thought that was him saying that. Speaking of which, it's never explained why Lead Fox doesn't say anything right away.
You little cretin. Now you're gonna get it. Glummer style.
Did you even try to loop the music better? Even I could loop it better in Windows Movie Maker. Lead Fox is knocked out in just 2 hits.
There's no such thing as tournaments.
I'm pretty sure you just made half your audience dumber by saying that, either by poisoning their minds or by loss of brain cells for hearing you say something that stupid.
Keeps just set them all up in servers so some noobs will come and be all like, when do we start? And then they get pwned by the host who's setting them up to land a cheap shot on them and bring up their rankings.
This has happened multiple times before? You're telling me that out of all the people that fell for that, none of them never once happened to accidentally look behind them?
Good luck with that, noob.
This is literally the 3rd time you used that word in the last 30 seconds.
Where is he?
How do you know he's even still here?
Enemy, you do not belong on these grounds.
This is another thing that hasn't aged well in the series. Every once in a while, the acting stinks.
Listen buddy, I'm looking for a guy that...
Dare question the hero of time?
All he said is he's looking for someone.
You do know you're not really Link, right?
Let's see, a character going as a beloved fictional hero and actually thinks he really is said hero. And even says, "Halt, who goes there?" before introducing himself. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves an honest-to-goodness Buzz Lightyear ripoff. You seriously couldn't give us a more inspiring opening theme for this? The Smashtasm Brawl series has a much more exciting song, being a very inspiring remix of Brawl's theme. This, however, is a very boring remix of Melee's theme. You want to keep your viewers' interest, do you?
What are you doing?
What do you think I'm doing? I'm fighting you.
But we haven't set up the match rules yet.
Hey, you threw that first punch when you shot him with an arrow,
Yes,
so you're no
because I
better.
chose.
I get pushed around 3 times today, and now I have to take orders from a man wearing a skirt?
Making a joke about Link wearing a skirt
Hey,
cliche.
I've seen Hyrule. They don't wear skirts.
Are you telling me that all this time I've been the only one wearing a skirt?
Well, aside from the cokery.
How many items?
All of them.
All of them? You can't be serious.
I understand true Smash players don't need items, but I wouldn't say having all items turned on is something to get on someone's case for.
Any player of Super Smash Bros. Would know that the B attack is always the soggy projectile.
Except for Zelda, Marth, Captain Falcon, etc. Also, I definitely agree on the B projectile move being useless, but I could easily say the same about your arrows, which you even used earlier.
Hey, I thought you said a true warrior uses pure strength and not weapons. Well, isn't that a weapon?
It would have helped if you actually showed the hookshot to prove Super 64's point, but because Super 64 was right next to him, we couldn't see it.
It's my nemesis, the evil Ganondorf.
I could believe Buzz Link here would think that's the real Ganondorf, but we just saw that he knows how this world works, since he talked about match rules and uses projectile attacks, yet he thinks a random Ganondorf player is the real Ganondorf. This is just inconsistent intelligence.
I said thanks. It's nice to meet you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the only female character in the Melee series, and she's playing as a man. I don't mind girls playing as men, but when the only girl is playing as a man, that's a sin.
Hey Link, you just got owned by a chick.
Yeah, and you got owned by the guy who got owned by a chick, so what does that make you?
Link got totally owned by a chick.
Okay, it was funny the first time you said it. Don't run it into the ground.
I find that very offensive.
Did you not hear him the first time? Link was a farther distance away from him than you were, and he still heard him.
No time, no items.
Aw, no items.
Stop whining and fight.
I find this only use items logic offensive. Items are half the fun of playing Smash Bros. Because of all of their cool moves. And even if their spawn locations are random, the way they're used can make a big difference. The only items in Melee I can really say have a luck-based factor to them are the container items, hammer, cloaking device, maybe the mushroom, and Pokeball. As for the rest, they don't really make matches more luck-based unless one appears right next to you. Besides, sometimes items are the only way to win. Like if you're a close-range fighter like Captain Falcon going up against an expert Marth player who keeps using counter. In those instances, you'll need items to stand a chance even if you are an expert.
Don't take this too offensively, but you suck.
I take that very offensively.
Now you know how she felt about your sexist comment earlier.
So remember, kid, anytime he needs help, Just call my name.
Here's the problem with Lead Fox's recordings. Sometimes it sounds like he left his TV on in the background. Even in my early days of using my mic, I did a better job at that.
Lead Fox never said that.
How would you know? You weren't even there. Sure, they do make a joke about that, but that's more so about how Link knew what Super 64 thought Lead Fox said, not how Link knew what Lead Fox actually said.
Lead Fox!
Apparently, Lead Fox also found a hack that gives you supersonic hearing. I know foxes have good hearing, but he can hear him from literally on top of a plane.
Time's up, Mr. Toilet Man. Get it? Because you're a plumber?
Don't explain the joke. That would have been an actually pretty decent joke by toilet humor standards until you went ahead and ruined it.
P2? I thought Link was P2.
How the heck did you see that? I'm pretty sure no one ever pays attention to the player number signs.
Oh, don't worry. I took care of him.
Why couldn't you have just joined in as player 4? Or did you know that and just wanted to get rid of Link? If so, then that was pretty scummy of you. What did he do to deserve this? Other than being mildly annoying, I guess. Okay, he did attack Super 64 earlier, but I doubt Lead Fox knew that. This series shames Kirby.
I just hate it when someone that doesn't know how to speak English joins one of these servers.
That's racist.
Hey, you trying to slash my rep, noob?
Well, at least someone other than Super 64 is being called that. Both this episode and episode 8 are called The Confrontation. Did Ship even look over these titles?
7 stock, 3-minute time limit, few items.
Didn't you insult Super 64 for wanting to use items earlier and now you're turning items on? Sure, it's on few, but come on.
Holy crap! That was quite a battle.
Haha, it's funny because we didn't get to see it. Yeah, I don't get it either.
Yeah, I can't believe it ended in a tie.
I can believe a hacker versus pro battle would end in a tie, but did these two forget about sudden death matches? Also, are you telling me that Blackberry never once noticed that Lead Fox must have been using some sort of hacks in the battle?
Super 64 here fell for the old tournament scheme.
Ha! What a noob!
Why is this series so obsessed with that word? Look, I'm not one of those language Nazis who gets mad at people for swearing. I've been chatting with people online for over a year by the time I first came across this series, so I was kinda used to hearing swearing by then. But does this series just think that saying the N-word every single time they get the chance makes you look cool? Because it really doesn't. It actually does the exact opposite, and it doesn't prove that you're any better than him. This obviously fake laughter goes on for all the sometimes.
It's not that funny.
I agree, it really wasn't that funny. Let alone funny enough to have this stupid laughter scene that goes on for too long. Shut up!
I know where you could probably catch him. He's most likely in a server called Ultimate Smash Tournament.
Blackberry seems to really hate Super 64, yet she's helping him do what he wants to do.
Idiots.
I'm glad she doesn't think that Super 64 is the only idiot here, but didn't she seem to respect Lead Fox after their battle? And now we have another 39 seconds of nothing but showing Great Bay. That's literally an entire loop of the song that plays on it.
Great Bay. This must be the place.
What are the odds that multiple people would be saying that almost word for word?
Booyah! Another one bites my dust.
Out of all the unimpressive voice
Yeah,
acting
I
in the
really
project,
achieved anything
Kill It
back
7's
then.
is easily the worst.
That's right. I'm back to take my revenge. Hey, he got away.
You probably wouldn't have if you didn't make that speech about him not getting away.
But Super 64 was literally facing towards Kill It 7 when making that speech, and I'm pretty sure that in Melee, Bowser does not have teleportation. Heck, I can barely think of any instances where Bowser's ever used teleportation. Well, now we have the story's true conflict, yet they decided to have most of it focus on the Super 64 versus Kill It 7 plot.
Greg here used to be my partner.
Bitter rivals used to be best friends cliche.
Wait a minute. Are you about to tell a story?
It all started 2 months ago. Greg here used to be my partner.
Hold on.
Okay, now you're just stalling. Look, I do enjoy this series in spite of how harsh I'm being on it, but can you please get on with it already?
We could, use this power to pawn all the pros.
But it wouldn't be us that's good. It would be the hacks.
That's rich coming from the guy who used them in your fight against Blackberry. Sure, it ended in a tie, but I could easily say it wasn't you that's good. It was the hacks.
Greg, is you gonna use this for the evil?
He just said he's got evil intentions 25 seconds ago.
Hey, Lead Fox, I got the evil intentions.
This guy right here has hacks. He wants to ruin the server.
Oh, he does he? Thank you for reporting him, player. I shall see to it that he is banned.
Without any evidence? This admin's way too easily convinced. Also, the sequel would imply that all hackers get banned. So why isn't he also banning Lead Fox for being on a stage that he clearly can't access without hacks?
Just tries and stops me, Elite. I's taught you everything yous knows.
Yet Lead Fox still wins this fight.
No!
No.
Or so he thought. Dun, dun,
Done. You know, that wasn't very funny.
That's not helping. That's doing the opposite of helping. What's the word for that?
Well, I never knew the opposite of helping was called hiding.
And so, Link went on a great quest to get out of the Black Void.
Ah, it's on narration.
He traveled through the Forest Temple.
Cool Ocarina of Time parody, but now it looks like he successfully got out of the Black Void, meaning that by going on this journey, all he's accomplishing is getting stuck in it again.
Across the Fire Temple.
And he found a cheat code that let him skip the Great Deku Tree, Dodongo's Cavern, and Jabu Jabu's belly.
Against the Tides Water Temple.
And all of its agony that's worse than any amount of Kirby taunting can do to you. Also, don't have the music overpower the voices.
And through the Shadow Temple.
The character goes on a long journey and ends up exactly where they started, cliche. And what we didn't see was the Ice Dungeon being played by Icicle Mountain, the Spirit Temple being played by Hyrule Temple, and Ganon's Castle being played by Brinstar Depths.
Did you just call me Lassie?
That's what we Scots call out helpless little girls.
Scots? I thought you said your name was Prince Rock.
Where in that sentence did he say his name's Scott?
Did you just call me Irish?
I don't know if Prince Rock's supposed to be a racist stereotype or not. I'm not one of those lunatics who assumes everything's racist, at least now I'm serious about it, but just in case.
I hate to interrupt what's probably going to be a long speech about how you're going to fight me, but I really have to get out of here.
So many of these fights start with, I don't want to fight you, gets attacked. That's it, I'm fighting you. You're running dry with your ideas.
This is like a waste of time. The level 1 computer players are better than you.
Why is Super 64 the character everyone chooses to pick on? Sure, he's not a good fighter, but I could argue that a lot of characters in Smashtasm have something just as, if not even more embarrassing about them than he does. We even saw that one of our characters thinks he's a real video game character. Killer 7 is implied to be just as bad as Super 64, and very cowardly in addition to that. And even Prince Rock, the guy who's insulting Super 64 right now, can't tell Super 64's gender, and is kinda delusional, as we'll find out soon. And don't even get me started on Lamp. I guess in this universe, people don't judge you by your personality or intelligence, only by how good you are at some game.
If I'm so bad at this game, how did I beat you when we first met?
I wasn't really trying.
Especially since you started by just repeatedly spamming your side B.
You probably should get back to the fight with Prince Rock. By now, I'd say he's beating you senseless with a sword.
I guess that's kind of funny, but how can he even think like that when he's being beaten up? Let alone think enough to have flashbacks, even if it is a fake flashback.
It's that blood off your wireframe, right there, behind you.
So the admins in this world are wireframes, but wireframes are still enemies? Well, that's kind of confusing.
I don't really know how to exit servers.
Then how did you get to Great Bay?
Ah! No more!
It was kind of a jerkish move of Link to attack one of them, but did they really not expect him to react like this? They've been taunting him endlessly for who knows how long. Did they really not expect him to snap like this at any point? I'd have thought they wanted him to snap like this.
This is my dog. I can't really go down there.
I can barely hear you over the loud music.
Let's take a look inside. Oh yeah, I forgot. I can't go inside neither.
Well, that's kind of dark, implying he has no shelter from cold weather. Then again, he doesn't deserve shelter.
This is a friend of mine.
Really? You seemed to see him as just an idiot a few minutes ago. Now all of a sudden you're friends?
For the play.
Missed opportunity for Super 64 to comment on how silly that sounds. Earlier we saw the reason Super 64 couldn't see the wireframe was because it left when Super 64 turned to look at it, but now it's revealed that the reason he couldn't see it was because Prince Rock only imagined it.
I remember a long time ago when that one magazine came out with that rumor that you could unlock Sonic and Tails.
Turn down the volume of Prince Rock's grunts. I can barely hear what's being said. Also, by leaving out the fact that the magazine was an April Fool's joke, you could easily give someone the wrong impression that Sakurai is a huge jerk who falsely advertised characters who aren't in the game. Also, if it makes Prince Rock feel better, he just has to wait a few more months to unlock Sonic and Brawl. As for Tails, only time will tell if he ever gets in. 36 seconds of this Kirby gesture sequence.
You're not good, you just keep using that cheap beat down move.
So in other words, he's basically the same Pikachu player that I once was. Also, have you tried challenging him to a single button melee where he can't use special attacks? Granted, single button melee is stupid, but it would really help you here.
But if you lose, I'll get your password. If I have that, I can log in as you and do things that I wouldn't normally do. Your account would be mine.
What a horrible person! I've seen some people find this character annoying, but I'm honestly more bothered by how much of a horrible scumbag he is.
Hey, you want this info, don't you?
It's not worth it. Try asking Prince Rock for ideas of what you can do for him like you were going to do earlier. Don't agree to it, Super 64. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Fine, I'll do it.
Ugh, this is hopeless. I see Super 64 getting hit by that bonsai bill as you fade out. Didn't think I'd notice you being off by a few frames, did you? Chip decides to end this part off by rickrolling the audience.
Hyrule Temple. This must be the place.
Wait, now I'm getting Samus Rule 63 imagery.
Who are you talking to?
What? I don't recall doing that.
And there's that stereotype of all idiots having southern accents, which is honestly a pretty offensive stereotype.
His name is Lamp.
Lamp?
Yep, Lamp.
Yep, Lamp.
That's his name? Lamp?
This goes on for some time.
I'd Super 64. I'd say that you've wasted enough time.
You were part of that stupid joke about Lamp's name too, and if the hypocrisy is a joke, the sin's for not being funny. I'm guessing this blue Zelda player is his girlfriend, and if so, then it's kinda cute that he has a girlfriend, but what does she see in this insult to Pikachu's?
Did I say that you could talk?
Well, no, but I...
Is this making a joke about abusive relationships? Because I think this is making a joke about abusive relationships.
I don't need this. You don't own me.
Super 64 is not wrong. Lamp, despite taking very few hits, is knocked out by this bomb.
You'll pay for that cheap shot.
How is that a cheap shot? Because you use an item? You have just as much access to items, so stop whining.
Here's your dismay.
Lamp, despite his stupidity, knows the word dismay.
End of the line. You've got one stock left, and this is a dead end.
Why doesn't Super 64 just jump back up and over Lamp? Or attack him while he's monologuing? Also, I checked, and Mario was able to do the Hyrule jump in Melee, albeit barely, but still possible. Link and Kirby's Ex Machina. Link somehow escaped the Black Void again.
No!
No, these Kirbys are just walking while chasing Link. This was pretty funny, but I seriously have no idea what I'm supposed to be feeling. I don't know if I should feel relieved that Super 64 doesn't have to give up his password, or disappointed that he won unfairly. This is one of the reasons Episode 8 is hands down the worst Smashtasm episode.
I can't believe you actually did it, yo.
Despite being very condescending, he accepts Super 64's win as a win, even though he won through means that aren't much better than cheating. Seeing Killer 7 ambush these players makes me wonder what they do after they get tricked. Do they also spend their time plotting revenge on Killer 7 like how Super 64 does? And here we are, back at Hyrule Temple again, after we've spent almost the entirety of the first 4 parts and almost the entirety of this part here already. That's almost half the entire season. Is there no love for Pokefloats? Are you telling me that Super 64 just risks losing his account for nothing? LeafFox kicked Super 64 out to prevent the game from crashing during their hack battle, but had their first battle be without hacks anyway.
We'd find 2 really bad players, train them with our hacks, and pit them against each other. So 2 were chosen. Killer 7 and you.
Super 64 isn't offended at being called a bad player.
If I had let you get your revenge, you'd have no reason to fight him now.
That's no excuse. You stopped him from doing what he almost lost his password trying to do. Doesn't help that having them fight was your idea. I'm sorry, this makes me really mad. Just had 20 cents before I lose my sanity. You know what I realized while planning this video? How many subplots this has? The Super 64 versus Killer 7 plot, Killer 7's trolling, LeafFox and Greg's rivalry, Link thinking he's a real Link and trying to escape, and Prince Rock seeing wireframes. I don't really mind this, I just thought it would be fun to point out, okay?
This can't be the end!
Can you actually die in this world? I'd have thought in Smash Brothers these situations would be a KO at worst.
Kirby's retreat!
Explain. It's like running away, but manlier.
But seriously, why do they have to retreat? Because he lost his crown? They're still obeying.
We'll be back!
Nope, still haven't returned.
Hi.
Yay!
Jeez, what's his problem?
The next user to appear at Jungle James happened to be another Kirby player who's not associated with King Kirby, so this joke could work.
Hello, Grasshopper.
Master refers to their student by the name Grasshopper Cliché.
Just as I thought. You are a noob.
Alright, I get it!
Also, as much as I can't stand characters getting constantly picked on, most underdog stories like this at least say these characters aren't as stupid as everyone thinks. That's clearly not the case here. Judging by how this repeatedly shames Super 64 for this, it's basically saying it's okay to bully inexperienced players. That's a horrible thing to teach people, even if this is a comedy.
You must learn to resist intimidation.
Ooh, I'm Super 64. I'm a total noob. I need items to win games.
Series continues this needless assault on items.
I don't understand how this is helping me.
Honestly, me neither. How will ignoring trolls help him win battles? Is there some joke I'm missing?
Now hit it as hard as you can with the bat. Are you retarded?
First Link rips off Buzz Lightyear, now Mu-Zero is ripping off Master Shifu. What's that? This episode released 4 months before Kung Fu Panda? Well, now I feel weird.
You are ready.
Ready because you beat up the troll that I told you to ignore.
The losers of this battle is banned, both the hacker and his player.
What?
What?
Gotta side with Super 64 and Killer 7. They never sign up for that. Why not just have the losers get banned part only apply to you and Greg? Why do you need to drag the players into that? Sure, Killer 7 would deserve it, but Super 64 wouldn't.
Elite Fox, are you crazy?
I'm convinced he is.
I believe in you.
Do you really mean that, Elite Fox?
Well, not really.
I know that's supposed to be funny on some level, but it just makes Elite Fox look like a terrible friend. Wow. Also, if you don't actually believe he can win, maybe you should have thought of that before betting everything on this battle.
Now get out there and win, because if you don't, we're all doomed.
Yeah, but does that include Killer 7? I guess things won't end well for him whether he wins or loses. Not that he wouldn't deserve that. Or will Greg decide to give Killer 7 immunity from that or something? Also, I'm pretty sure more than half the Smash communities migrated to Brawl by this point, since this episode aired 2 months after Brawl. Would they still be affected?
1 hack each.
Why did you need Super 64 and Killer 7 for that? You could have easily had the 1 hack for each side thing with both of you guys too. If your 1 hack per side rule was your answer to preventing the game from freezing, you didn't need to drag 2 other players into this, and you especially didn't need to stop Super 64 from doing what he bet his account trying to do. I'm sorry, I still can't let that go.
I'm invincible.
Good thing this fight isn't in Brawl, otherwise he literally would be. Speaking of which, a user once did a Brawl version as to what the Melee series would look like in Brawl. I wonder what happened to that. Did he delete it for some reason?
All he versus moves is souped up.
Yeah, but you said this would be even better than Giga Bowser, but the only things you changed were the fireballs and cape. The other moves look the same to me. It was stated that this is a 4-stock battle, now it's a 1-stock. This final battle is awesome. The background is a black hole background. The background is a space background. I'm guessing that's because when it transitions to the snowy mountain background, it caused the game to freeze because of 2 players using hacks during it, but I can't be certain. Obvious fake out cliffhanger is obvious.
How could he have lost?
You literally just said you don't actually believe in him. Greg's charge attack takes an awfully long time to charge up, so Super 64 can use his cape to get back on the stage and KO Killer 7 just in time.
If the cape could propel me forward, the super cape could no doubt get me back on the stage. Or better yet, set me up for the perfect surprise attack.
You can tell it's a surprise attack by how Killer 7, Lead Fox, and Greg don't hear the sound Mario makes when he uses his cape.
I isn't jumping off the stage for no one.
Villain refuses an end of the bargain cliche.
Brawl always has more power over yous.
I've always been better than you cliche.
What could you possibly do to stop me?
Wow, 3 cliches back to back. Now you have the character said something but is instantly proven wrong cliche. Others ex machina. They think that if they have this guy play a small part in stopping Greg, they'll make me forget that this guy is still a terrible, terrible person for making Super 64 bet his password earlier.
All have helped you on your quest, and all will help you finish it.
Except for Lamp, who was more of an obstacle than anything. And then Blackberry, for whatever reason, completely disappears from this part after helping to stop Greg. Seriously, she's the only character here who doesn't appear again in this episode after attacking him. I'm guessing it's because this part was made after the time her voice actor's computer broke down, so she couldn't record any more lines in this part, but he could have at least had her be on screen during the finale instead of having her just completely disappear altogether. Speaking of which, it really is a shame that we couldn't get more lines from her, especially since it really would have been nice seeing her grow to respect him more.
I can count to 5.
And we're even going to give you an entire short based on that.
Word. Slack.
Please, shut up.
What?
I almost didn't bring you here because of this. Do you even realize how annoying that is?
I'm still more bothered by him forcing Super 64 to bet his password earlier.
Hate the player, dog. Not the game.
What does that have to do with Mew Zero's claim about you being annoying? Lead Fox is a jerk to Prince Rock for no explained reason.
Why not?
Sounds gay.
Ah, the old days. Back when people could use the word gay to say that something's stupid, and they'd be seen as cool for saying that. Chip forgot to credit Melee's soundtrack in the credits. Hold on, Killer 7 still in his Giga Bowser form? After not only did the match end, but after he was banned?
Long ago, it was said that gamers played together in an online server-based sect of Super Smash Bros. Melee called Smashtasm.
Roll credits!
Smashtasm was completely safe. Or was it?
No, it wasn't.
Why did you have to say that?
This scene's definitely hilarious, but this narrator's never heard of retakes. Man, I'm a killjoy.
We're making a prologue.
That sounds really gay.
If only they knew how lame and homophobic Death and Soul would be seen as nowadays.
You don't need a face to breathe.
Your mother needs a face to breathe.
Shaming pretty much everyone. None of these scenes ever happened in this series.
Sonic's the name, Speed's my...
tasty. Oh yeah, this was made back in the late 2000s, where for some reason, every video game machinima on YouTube had to have Sonic get killed in it. Just why? That wasn't even the slightest bit funny. It's extremely obnoxious. All it did was serve as a giant FU to all Sonic fans. I'm not an Inspector Gadget fan, but you don't see me killing Inspector Gadget in my videos, let alone every single video I make. Character turns around while talking and then turns back around to find the character that they're talking to is gone cliché. Let's see, a wing mailman named Packery. Well, now we're ripping off Parakarry from Paper Mario.
Come out with your analog sticks up.
That's what she said.
That's Leet Fox. He's a hacker, but he's helped Super 64 defeat other hackers in the past.
What other hackers aside from Greg? Still better than that stupid laugh scene from the first series.
You're not gonna report me, are you?
So if even a good hacker like Leet Fox can get banned for hacking, why didn't the admin in episode 5 of the first series ban him for being on the hacking exclusive test stage? Episode 1 surprisingly shares some similarities with episode 1 of the original series. Super 64 starts out on the Hyrule stage, but then goes into one of the Sky stages and meets up with Leet Fox, and he is also ambushed while his back is turned. This could give someone the wrong impression that this is going to be a shameless rehash of the Melee series, even though this is much better than the Melee series.
Those two are Grant and Grunt. They're low-level grunt villains.
Yet despite being low-level grunts, they easily captured a hacker and a moderator. That being said, these two are definitely some of the most entertaining characters in the series.
Mods are powerless against us. Yeah, 'cause we're gay. Exactly. Wait, what? We're not gay.
Gay shaming. Also, evil duo that consists of a stupid one and a smart one, or at least not as stupid as the other one cliché. Also, now we have an evil duo with one of the two thinking they're gay. I'm pretty sure this will lead to everyone making that overdone joke about the evil duo being gay for each other.
But what about that time you were flirting with— Hey, it's not my fault. You didn't tell me that was an all-guy server.
Well, you could have at least talked to them to hear the voices and make sure they were girls. I know Lemp's just humming, but that first part of it almost sounds like he's being tied up and gagged. Also, series once again forces me to imagine Samus having a penis.
So I'll distract them, and you open the cage from the rear.
Doesn't sound like a good idea to me. If you distract them, they'll be facing your direction, so they'll see Lamp opening the cage. And now I have a needless assault on Solid Snake. Not helped by the fact that a lot of Ship's Brawl videos feature Snake going around suffocating people like this. Though I guess to be fair, at least it's nowhere near as disrespectful as his videos were towards Sonic.
Why do you keep hitting me?
I have no idea, but I'm enjoying it profusely. Now get out of here!
Wouldn't it be smart to ask them where Leet Fox is being held captive before sending him flying? Considering Grunt keeps blabbing out their secrets, I don't see why you can't ask.
People wear socks.
Randomly giving Lamp a catchphrase that he didn't have before.
They traveled through dusty plains,
Yippee!
fiery lakes,
Yippee!
icy mountains.
Yippee!
While not a bad running gag, it gets a bit annoying at times. Especially since the teaser was literally just Lamp annoying Super 64 by saying yippee.
Icy mountains again.
Characters went on a long journey and ended up at the same place cliché.
Boxed-in areas with no exits.
How do we leave?
Simple. This stage's walls are breakable. The Brawl series intro is much more inspiring than the Melee series' boring remix of Melee's theme, but it spoils the fact that H reforms. Most of this isn't shown in the actual series. Ugh! Another scene torturing Sonic in a Brawl machinima. Why did all these morons keep doing this? Oh, you thought the meme about hating the Ice Age baby was stupid and annoying? This was 10 times worse.
How many blondes does it take to screw in a light bulb? 1. Because gender stereotypes based on hair color are totally unfair and sexist.
As much as I agree, it would prove your point better if you used Zero Suit Samus instead of Peach, since Peach usually has the IQ of a brick. Also, why do villains care about sexism? The aspect ratio changes when they go into Gear M6's base.
Why do I get hit when he says something?
Honestly, I feel bad for Grant.
Semantics. Being the partner of the offender encourages discipline.
That's just stupid. That's probably the joke, but even for those standards, that was cringe.
We are not gay.
But how come when I found you guys, you were...
I told you before, I was stretching.
But looked like you were...
That's not funny, that's disgusting. This part's a lot more disgusting than I remember it being.
Alan, bring up Super 64 on the monitor.
Rah! On it, boss.
And now Ship makes Tyrannosaurus Alan the villain. Well, he's already ashamed items, Kirby, Snake, and Sonic, and even humans in the Star Squad series, so why stop there?
Are you coming on to me? In an online game?
What does being an online game have to do with it?
Super 64, watch out! Yep, just as I thought. A spam bot.
Idiot has brief smart moments cliché.
You have to save us from the watermelon monster.
No!
What a jerk, refusing to help them.
I summon Super Pikachu.
They stole my idea that one of my friends gave me in middle school art class.
You have saved us all. Now you must take my daughter's hand in marriage.
Assuming he even wants to, or isn't already taken. Also, missed opportunity for her to be Zelda since the King of Dinnertopia is based on King Harkanian.
Hey, look, it's a player.
There's no way Super 64 saw him. This is where Super 64 is, and this is where Meta Dark was.
Oh, crap. Oh, crap.
This is funny, but this goes on for some time.
Let's follow that guy.
After you sent him flying to who knows where.
Hey, how did you get in here?
I think the better question is, how did here get in me?
Thanks for giving me that image.
I bet Grant would like to know more about getting in you as well, if you know what I mean.
It was kinda funny when Lamp said it, but when you said it, just no.
You know what else I like doing? Again, and again, and again, and again, and
I'm
again,
not
and
sure
again,
I want to
and
know.
again.
Dear Lamp, why are you named Lamp? Well, the answer to that one is easy. Next question.
Get it? The joke is that he didn't answer the question. Do you get it? Funny, right? But seriously, that almost feels like the series is deliberately mocking its fans for wanting to know the answer.
Then why does the hole say trap portal?
Good question. If you're trying to trick him into jumping into it, why is there a sign that gives away that it's a trap?
Then why does it say warning, do not enter the trap portal?
The same reason the warning disappears between shots. Sparta! Nice reference, but people who don't know that meme will be confused on why she's just randomly screaming some word. I know for a fact that I was when I first saw it. Also, Super 64 could have easily wall jumped out. Also, in this episode's trailer, the narrator tried to keep us on our seats if she'd succeed or not, but showed clips of her succeeding.
Congratulations! You've defeated Super 64! I am Turdy.
It genuinely bothers me that for whatever reason, Shep felt the need to give this Turdy character a cute voice even though he's a terrible, terrible creature who's literally encouraging murder.
And I'm ready to grant you 5 brand new wishes!
Is that the bounty that Giram 6 promised people who killed Super 64? I don't know for sure or not, but assuming it is, this could be a good thing if one could use those wishes for world peace or to end world hunger or stuff like that. Especially if they can use the last wish to wish Super 64 back. Also, never mind the fact that there's no explanation on how Giram 6 probably has access to some magic wishing turtle. Why doesn't he just wish Super 64 dead instead of hiring so many incompetent hackers to do the job?
That's not a turtle, that's an armadillo!
I'm sorry, is there some reference I'm supposed to get here? Because over the years, I've started to understand a lot of the references in this series. Yet here I am, 17 years later, and for the life of me, I still have no idea what the heck this is supposed to be a reference to.
Of course I'm right. I'm a genius, aren't I?
You know all that stuff I just said in the last sim? Well, you can also apply all that to this poorly textured warrior. Also, genius says stupid things cliche.
But fortunately for Super 64, this was all in the imagination of his would-be assailant.
Series is a jerk to the viewers by playing with our emotions. Good thing Super 64 decides to hang over the edge of the portal for 21 seconds before jumping in, giving H enough time to have her change of heart and stop him from jumping in.
I am Princess H.
This is Princess H.
Yeah, I just said that.
Hey! You're not supposed to interrupt me!
Hey, I was enjoying that usage of Ocarina of Time music.
You're not
And
even
you really
funny.
want to watch
You spoil
text?
every single line.
Are you stupid? The only spoiler I remember the narrator giving away was the fact that you were evil. And even then, it was for self-aware purposes.
Seeing how trusting you were made me realize that this wasn't really what I wanted to be.
Remember, kids, you should trust random strangers because that will cause them to change their ways. Great lesson for the people watching.
You understand, right?
I wasn't listening.
Princess H isn't angered with Super 64 for that, even though H still has a bad temper even after reforming.
And I think I know just how to do it.
How?
I'll tell you right after I finish pausing dramatically.
This goes on for some time. Well, at least now I think I know what character to blame for making us wait over a year for episode 4. In Lamp's last flashback featuring the King of Derotopia, he was shorter than he is in this one. Is there any reason for Ship to call this episode 3 part 2? I mean, with episode 10 part 2 in the Melee series, it was probably done for the sake of cliffhanger purposes, and because the final episode seems like the most appropriate to divide into 2 parts. Here, however, he just took a random episode and divided it into 2 separate parts. Why not just call this one episode 4? Come to think of it, was there any reason to have this part at all? Nothing really happens in it. This isn't a bad part, but you could literally cut it out and the plot literally wouldn't change at all.
I'm, Gron. Talkie, do.
How would you know he said that? You weren't even there.
Wait, who's the other guy?
I'm, Lum?
It's great that we have a comical foil like Lamp to rival the other guys.
And he doesn't find it peculiar that the two who are in this prison cell are playing as the same characters he locked up earlier, just in different colors.
This is Link. He thinks that he's the real Link from the game.
Because he's still ripping off Buzz Lightyear. I'm just half expecting him to see a Zelda trailer and go through the I Will Go Sailing No More sequence.
Yippee! Yippee!
Yippee! Yippee!
You may have won the war, but the battle is just beginning.
I'm guessing that whoever's Yippee sound is the last one that can be heard by the other player before they're out of earshot is the winner in this Yippee contest, but how would Lamp know that Link's no longer in earshot? And because these two get recaptured anyways, and since Link, the guy they saved, doesn't do anything for the remainder of the series, this escape scene ended up being pretty much pointless. More reason as to why it wasn't really needed to have an episode 3 part 2. Well, other than for comedy purposes, and the jokes aren't bad, but other than that, still pointless. Intimidating villain has an embarrassing secret cliche.
This replay was courtesy of Gear 6's good buddy, Grant.
It wasn't me! Do you really think that Grant's capable of this sort of thing? I mean, he can barely operate a VCR, much less do something with this much technical expertise. I could totally have pulled this off! And how would you have downloaded this footage?
This is really making it look like Grant is tricking Grant into making himself look more guilty, but there is no way in heck that Grant's smart enough to pull this kind of reverse psychology. Why is Gear 6 punishing Grant for this when its stupid logic states that he should punish the other one and not the one who actually showed disrespect for the sake of encouraging discipline or something stupid like that? I don't know. And I still feel bad for Grant.
My apologies, I've mispronounced the name. Grant, not Grant.
Of course, he conveniently doesn't acknowledge this mispronunciation until Gear 6 has already chased Grant away. In nearly every other scene in the series, Ellen is off screen, yet now he's in plain sight. Pick a lane, series.
Pretty clever of you, mate.
I know.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Seriously? This is literally one of the laziest excuses to pad out the runtime I've ever seen. And I've seen Mario and Luigi Dream Team and every episode from season 6 through 8 of SpongeBob, as if this wasn't already a filler part.
Ben from Canada asks, Dear Lamp, why did you create an email account for people to ask questions, eh? You're from Canada.
Good to know Lamp's racist too.
Gear 6 had to have an escape plan, just in case something went wrong. So he created a bunch of encrypted items that, when collected, would create a detonator that would destroy all of the hacks Gear 6 had put together.
I know the next episode reveals the detonator is a fake, but Super 64 doesn't question Gear 6 being stupid enough to risk endangering his plans in case of a small chance of something going wrong, even if he does have them guarded.
So he had the items hidden and heavily guarded in stages no one could access,
including the extremely accessible Delfino Plaza and Onett.
So what's your plan, Tails?
Pointless joke that has no context and only exists to show off this texture hack.
I guess I can't hear women.
That's actually sexist. He doesn't even get caught up for it like in the Melee series.
Is that a sandwich?
Leave me alone!
Another joke no one will understand. Why is Super 64 using some fake accent? Is this another unrecognizable reference? What's the joke?
Give me that sandwich!
What's wrong with him having a sandwich? Why is she more mad at that than his sexist comment?
I will rape you!
Threatening rape over a sandwich. We never see them get the piece of spear pillar.
Because it looked like you were talking to that two-way mirror. The one that's hooked up directly to Gear 6's monitor. Ha! Just kidding.
Scary news is revealed to be fake, but later turns out that it really was true cliche. Why does Gear 6 even bother wasting his time linking some random wall to his monitor just to spy on two idiots and their dishes? He really doesn't have a life. And here there's a dance scene we couldn't see for copyright reasons, so it was uploaded to a separate video that was lost because Chip privated it. It wasn't until many years later when it was finally archived.
We're gonna jump in a tank full of stingrays.
Australians.
Well, that's just dumb.
And racist.
Actually, everyone's so afraid of the world-famous security system that no one even tries to steal the piece. So they didn't need to put a security system here at all. The real security system is the fear of a security system that doesn't actually exist.
Wow, really?
Psh, no.
The security system politely waited for Ace to tell her little joke before going off. Chip decides to shame Mickey Mouse by making him evil, but then again he looks and sounds more like Mortimer Mouse. Guess that explains why he's evil.
You's gotta tell me a racial joke.
Well, I'm Jewish, so...
Who said it had to be racist against Jews as opposed to any other race?
Oh, hey, Packery, come to deliver a message for me?
What? No, I just came by to say hello. What, you think I just deliver everyone's mail all day? I'm never speaking to you again.
What a horribly unlikable brat! To think Packery seemed like a cool guy at first. Now I know who the worst character in the Brawl series is.
Wow. You're a jerk.
Speaking of hated characters, okay, I don't entirely hate H, but this victim blaming's really tempting me to. Chip is having actual villains work for Gear 6 after all. Then again, if this was made post-2019, it would likely be a reference to a certain movie that I'm pretty sure was made to call us terrible people for calling the Joker evil.
Hey, Super 64. Do you believe that love can bloom on the battlefield?
Are they implying she has feelings for him, even though she finds him incompetent?
That's even better. I wish sexy men would talk about me.
Guys, there are ways to make gay jokes work. This is not one of those ways.
Ahoy, sailors!
Deceiving us into thinking this episode's credit scene will be some cool sailor adventure.
Who can?
That voice is really annoying.
This is about Greg, isn't it?
He was your idol, and I stopped him.
How did Super 64 know? He wasn't there during the one time this was revealed.
I'm not your vengeance, Greg.
I am Greg.
I wouldn't have to send the Swiss if not for the brilliant stunts who spoiled it before this episode was even in development.
I feel like I made it really obvious.
I don't think many people would think to Harry Potter these letters in the right order. And if you thought it was obvious, why couldn't you use a better name?
Wow. Now I just feel stupid.
Thing I sometimes think when caught out on some of these sins, someone makes its way into the script. But don't let that discourage you. I appreciate advice.
You're a mod, right? You should be able to press a button and make me disappear forever.
Well...
Is this really Super 64's fault? Didn't the admin that promoted him show him how this works? Also, it was stated earlier that mods are powerless against these guys.
You don't know how to do anything. You're just a noob. A noob with a meaningless title.
This is just obnoxious. Super 64 went through great training and fought an epic battle to save all of Melee. And we're supposed to think he's still incompetent? This makes me really mad. And because they keep shaming Super 64, it's still teaching people that it's okay to bully inexperienced players.
Meanwhile, the people like me, the people that can actually make a difference here, get labeled as hackers and we're banned for life.
Oh no, you did not just go there. Don't you dare lie to us that Greg's the victim. He tried to take over all of Melee and even admitted he's evil. I've seen failed attempts at self-sinning, but this might be the worst instance of that ever. Episode 5 is now the weakest episode of the Brawl series.
How did you even become a mod in the first place?
Because I stopped you, remember?
Did you really?
He played a big part in helping to stop you, and if he didn't actually stop you, why are you seeking revenge on him?
Nintendo sure knows how to cater to its hardcore gamer fan base.
It's funny that you think that, but also very depressing.
How? Nintendo seems to do a good job of listening to their fans, for the most part.
Take the position, Super 64. You're gonna suck at this, but it will be entertaining.
Well, that doesn't sound like a very good reason at all.
And yet they desperately want me to believe Super 64's the stupid one? You can't play Super 64 off as the most worthless idiot in Smashtasm when everyone else is arguably less sane than him.
So you've been recording everything I've been doing for the past several months?
How do you know it's not just that one conversation?
Don't worry, I have a plan.
I already don't like it.
Funny, but I'm curious as to what it would be, even if it isn't good.
Then we're gonna need an army too.
You don't mean...
Yes. We must ask the internet.
How did H guess he'd say that? I doubt that would be anyone's first guess. They don't even ever say, what? No, that's not what I was thinking, or something. This video shown here was posted on February 18th, 2009, even though the Brawl series wasn't anywhere near that long yet then. This video shown in this video was up for 3 years, yet Henry Code's comment saying finally it's back was posted just 4 months prior because he lives under a rock. And unfortunately, Ship lost motivation to finish the series. Thankfully, 8 years later, another user named Smashing13 made an unofficial continuation that's considered the definitive finale for being faithful to the series despite its different writers and actors. But I'm still sitting the wait. 35 seconds of this logo and disclaimer.
Grant has Tourette's.
Tourette shaming.
I don't like working for Greg.
If you want them to trust you, why do you call them losers and call H a traitor?
I don't know, Elite Fox. It could be a trap. These two are Greg's right-hand men.
I thought they were low-level grunts. This was established in episode 1.
Why, the only moderator left in Smashtasm besides me would be... Packery.
When was it ever stated that Packery's a moderator? All we know is that he delivers mail, has a fake British accent, and he's an unlikable a-hole. And as much as it pained me to do so, I rewatched both his previous scenes to be sure.
All the others said I was annoying and blocked me.
How is Super 64 annoying? All I'm getting is that he's a wimp and didn't earn his mod status, both which are complete BS reasons. We saw him train to become a much better fighter. As for him not deserving his mod status, not only is that a lie, that's Elite Fox's fault for making him do it. Also, even after Super 64 has proven himself, everyone still hates him. Why? That's not funny, that's horribly mean-spirited.
I'll send you a direct message.
Is that possible when you're locked in here? And by hackers.
I turned off the server door lock so I could get to you.
Greg could easily prevent this by making the lock password activated.
With you trapped in here, I can finally...
Great, this series once again makes the joke of characters talking to someone only to find out that that character disappeared. Because that's not getting on at all.
Wait, did you just say Super 64? I'm not helping you. I hate that guy. He's a complete dick.
Well, you're an even bigger one. This flashback from Lamp is funny, but it goes on for over a minute. Also, not counting the flashback within the flashback, there are 3 Lamp flashbacks total, presumably because of the rule of 3, which I think is a stupid rule. It's just a random number to have be the amount of times a running gag is used. I just see it as, 3! It's funny because 3! Isn't that number so hilarious? Even though I've seen several running gags work at 2 or 4.
What? Grant? Is that you?
You just saw them joining forces with our heroes, why are you surprised?
But they interrupted me. Again.
You know, just once I'd like to not be...
You've been able to talk without interruptions multiple times before.
You can do it!
We believe in you!
Didn't you two just insinuate that he's incompetent 22 seconds ago? Which is still bogus.
Get on with it!
Well, at least that's a reference people will actually get.
Just the fact that you've been fooled again!
Nani?
That's stupid me.
You idiots! We faked you out.
Evil character proclaims that reform, but later reveals that they really were still evil cliché. Also, Grant should betray Greg, since Greg constantly abuses him.
And you totally fell for it.
As usual, you're completely oblivious.
Leaf Fox and H fell for it first, why aren't they being shamed?
Do you really think Grant is stupid enough to actually shut down my system from you? Grant, did you shut down my system?
You couldn't have that be Grant? Grant's supposed to be the smart one of the two. I know this episode was made by a different person, but I expect you to do a better job at getting everyone's personalities right. Especially when you've done a great job at it throughout the rest of the episode.
There's only one answer it could be. People wear shoes.
The idea of enemies having a comical foil for Lamp was only a joke that Leaf Fox and Lamp tricked that Dark Pit Guard into thinking. Now you're telling me that against all odds, they really do happen to have one that's almost exactly like him?
You're fucked.
I don't mind swearing on YouTube, not even the F word, but when no Smashtasm episode prior has used that word, it's kinda distracting. And no, their snakes on a plane short doesn't count because that warned us. Are we supposed to believe the reason Super 64 is getting completely owned by Greg is because he's a wimp? If so, then that's complete BS since, once again, we know Super 64 became a much better fighter. Leaf Fox even joins in on the fight and is KO'd almost instantly, so stop shaming Super 64 for bogus reasons. While I like Brawl more than Melee, seeing the system malfunction transition their battle back to Melee is pretty awesome.
What are you doing?
Making a distraction.
So Lamp can just summon a bunch of other brawlers out of nowhere? Never mind, it's almost over.
It's just like last time. Right over the edge.
Last time didn't involve him hanging over the edge.
64, you have to do something!
What do you want me to do? I can't do anything.
This would have erased my problem with the second half of the series if Leaf Fox said, "That's not true, you're better than that," or something like that. But who am I kidding? Gotta keep shaming Super 64 for things he's not actually guilty of. Greg charged up his smash attack too far away from Super 64 so it wouldn't have hit him.
Oh, that's easy. You just hit LRA start.
LRA.
Greg's still frozen even after the match was reset. Also in Brawl, that only exits matches if you're using a GameCube controller, which even if Super 64 is using one, how would you know?
Just hit him! How'd you ever get to be a mod?
How did you ever get to be a mod when you're an extremely unlikable scumbag? Also, Super 64 is one of the least terrible moderators I know, because nearly every other mod I've seen are tyrants that abuse their mod privileges and mistreat people, and remove/block them from people's channels without even telling them what they did wrong.
It'll be some real dick-on-dick action.
That's really gay, Packery.
Oh, so everyone else can use the word gay as an insult even in 2020, but when I do it, everyone calls me homophobic? Seriously, this actually really frustrates me, seeing other people do this while I'm not allowed to.
It's almost kind of hard to believe it's over.
Well, it most certainly is over.
And you ruined the moment.
No, you ruined the moment by saying that he ruined the moment. And yeah, this really is underwhelming for a finale, even if they are self-aware. Especially for one we've been waiting around a decade for.
So, is he gone?
Good question. He was banned twice before but somehow escaped. How do we know he's actually gone this time?
People with class don't watch this rubbish.
Well, at least it wasn't Emperor Lemon levels of shaming your audience.
And that's how we took down the evil Greg and saved all of Smashtasm.
Evil character proclaims himself the villain, even though they didn't cliché.
Make a fool out of me, will you? I'll show you. I'll form my own hacker group.
The whole reason episode 6 was made was to give us the long-awaited conclusion to Smashtasm we've been waiting forever for, and it still decides to sequel bait to a series that'll never happen.